Hello everybody, I'm Heather and this is Pippin, and we're here to bring you nighttime tales tonight, and tonight's theme is Robert Munch. So we're going to read a couple of Robert Munch books tonight, and we've got a craft to do at the end as usual, and Pippin's here to hang out with us and listen to the stories. So I hope if you're here live, thank you for joining in. Let me know you're here and give me a comment, tell me who's watching. I'd love to give you a shout out here. And if you are watching the replay, thanks for doing that as well. So let's start with our hello song. So we'll get our clapping hands together. Pippin's ready to participate as well. And so our hello song goes, bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as slowly as we can. Hello. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as quickly as we can. Hello. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as quietly as we can. Hello. Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as loudly as we can. Hello! Thanks everyone for singing the song if you did. I see that Zach is here again with cats Eddie and Spicy. Oh, thanks guys for joining in live. That's awesome, and I'm glad you brought the cats with you, Zach. Hopefully they don't mind watching Pippin. Pippin likes cats, so you can tell your cats that. All right, so our first story for our Robert Munch theme is called Just One Goal. Now, Robert Munch is an author. I'm sure you have probably read some of his books or heard of him. Don't lick the book, please, Pippin. We don't lick library books, right? So he's an author, and he is very popular with the children's books. And so we've got a couple books we're going to read. I'll tell you some fun facts after this book about Robert Munch as well. So we'll just get into this. I will flip the camera around so that the book is not backwards. Pippin, no kisses. So this is Just One Goal by Robert Munch, illustrated by Michael Marchenko. And Michael Marchenko is one of the illustrators that Robert Munch often uses. He is iconic to combine with Robert Munch. We've got this cute little Dalmatian wearing a hockey helmet. Just One Goal. And this looks like it's for Sierra Mapes from Hay River, Northwest Territories. All right. A rink, a rink, a rink, said Sierra to her father. A rink on the river would be nice. I would not have to go all the way across town to play hockey. The ice on the river is a mess, said her father. It froze all jagged and bumpy. We can't make a rink. A rink, a rink, a rink, said Sierra to her mother. A rink on the river would be nice. I would not have to go all the way across town to play hockey. Too bumpy, said her mother. The river ice is too bumpy to make a rink. Well, sounds like a problem. A rink, a rink, a rink, said Sierra to her sisters. A rink on the river would be nice. I could walk right out the back door and down to the river and play on my own rink. Well, we had to go across town to play hockey, said Sierra's sisters, and that was good enough for us. So you have to go across town just like we did. Okay, said Sierra. She got a glass of warm water and a spoon and went across the backyard, down the hill to the frozen, bumpy river. She used the water and the spoon to make a very small hockey rink, a good hockey rink for ants. Oh, well, that is creative. It looks like her dog is enjoying himself as well here. Sierra spent the whole next day carrying warm water down to the river. She worked till it was dark and the northern lights came out. Finally, her rink was big enough for a small dog. Sierra's dad came looking for her and said, "Wow, a rink! You really made a rink." "And I am just a little kid," said Sierra. Look at that. She made a dog-size rink. That explains why her dog has his helmet and his stick out. The next day, Sierra's dad rented a bulldozer and flattened a lot of river ice. Then all the neighbors came down and helped. By the time the northern lights came out, there was a real people-sized rink on the river. "A rink, a rink, a rink!" yelled Sierra. "A real rink on the river, and now we do not have to go all the way across town to play hockey." Sierra started skating and did not go to bed at all that night. Wow, so the neighbors really came together. They got that rink built. The next day, Sierra put up a sign that said, "River Rats Rink," and lots of kids came to play. But no matter what side Sierra was on, her team always lost. Oh, frustrating. Look at the poor dog. He's feeling the loss as well. One game that Sierra might have won ended when a moose went to sleep in the net. Oh dear. Hate when that happens, hey? The moose came. Another game ended when a bear chased everyone off the ice. Oh dear, that's even worse. Another game ended when a bunch of teenagers raced through on their snowmobiles. Ugh, crazy teenagers, and it looks like they're wrecking their rink. They're throwing snow on the ice. And that is why Sierra's team did not want to end a tied game just because the ice was a little wet. It was Sierra's last chance to win a game that year. But suddenly, the rink started floating down the river while the rest of the ice crashed and boomed around it. The players did not even notice. Sierra's mom noticed. "Ah!" yelled Sierra's mom. "Break!" She ran along the river yelling, "Stop, stop, stop!" But the players could not hear because the ice was making so much noise. Sierra's father ran along the river yelling, "Stop, stop, stop!" But the players could not hear because the ice was making so much noise. Then all the parents ran along the river yelling, "Stop, stop, stop!" But the teams just kept playing. "The bridge!" yelled Sierra's mom. "We can catch them at the bridge!" These poor parents, they're trying to just save their children. Everyone jumped into their cars and drove to the bridge. Then the dads hung from the bridge and the moms hung from the dads, and the moms grabbed their kids as the rink went floating by. But nobody got Sierra. She had the puck and was skating very fast toward the goal. Oh dear. The kids all got rescued, but Sierra's still floating away on the rink. Sierra's dad ran to his car, got his fishing rod, and cast his hook way, way, way down the river. He caught Sierra just as she scored. "We win!" yelled Sierra's team, and all the moms and dads fainted. Oh, it's intense. Then the kids carried their moms and dads to a restaurant and fed them hot chocolate while Sierra planned next year's rink. Oh boy, this rink looks even more elaborate. It's got a covered roof. Awesome. I love this book. It's I love hockey and I love Robert Munch, so it's a perfect one. Okay, let's flip you here for a minute. And, oh, we've got some more live viewers. Hi, everybody. Hi, Bryn and Cora. Thanks for being here. And hi from Devaney. I hope I'm saying your name right. Hello, Devaney. Good to have you here. And hello, everyone else who's maybe live as well. Thanks for being here. We've got Pippin here with us as well. She's just having her little story time snooze down there. So I'm going to share some fun Robert Munch facts with you. So Robert Munch, as I said earlier, is an author. He has published more than 60 books in over 30 different languages, including 8 indigenous languages, so that's super cool. And nope, I guess I thought this one I had another language, but no. But he does publish them in other languages, so that's pretty cool. And he sold more than 30 million copies worldwide as of 2019, so that's pretty amazing. That's a lot of books he's sold. He started telling stories to preschoolers in 1972, and in 1975, he and his wife, who is also a daycare worker, moved to Canada. He became a Canadian citizen in 1983 and now lives in Guelph, Ontario with his wife and his 3 children. So that's also super cool that he's Canadian. We love a good Canadian author. Let's see. So he's very much an oral storyteller, which means he speaks his stories and he tells them to children. He likes to perform them, and he's very animated. If you've ever seen videos, he is a great storyteller, so you should look him up on YouTube or on his website. And he bases the main characters off of a child that he meets. So in this book, Sierra, the main character, is a real-life girl, so that's why he dedicated this book to Sierra herself, who lives in Hay River, Northwest Territories. So that's super fun. All his books are inspired by real children. And then he tweaks and reworks the stories before ever publishing them years down the line. So those are my fun Robert Munch facts for you. Hopefully you didn't know all of those already and maybe learned something about Robert Munch. I will tell you our craft supplies right now before I start the next book so that you can get them ready for the end of program when we'll do our craft. So you'll need a pencil and some scissors. You'll need some markers, but preferably not super indelible, never come off until you're dead, and maybe even later coloring markers, just some normal washable markers. And if you don't know what I just said, you'll learn in the next book. You'll also need a big piece of paper, as big as you have. This is as big as I have. So I would like for us to trace out our bodies and make our very own duplicate twin on paper, but I know not everyone has paper that big. I don't. So I'm just going to trace my hand and my arm, but if you have huge paper, use that and you can trace out your whole body. I think I'm also going to get Pippin to participate in the craft too, so we'll see what we can do. All right. Our next book, our final book, is Purple, Green, and Yellow. So, whoops, let's get you flipped over here. There we go. So this is Purple, Green, and Yellow by Robert Munch, of course, and this one is illustrated by Helene Despoteau. Sounds very French. I don't know how to say her name. Sorry about that. So, Purple, Green, and Yellow. Robert Munch. This was always one of my favorites as a child. Bridget went to her mother and said, "I need some coloring markers. All my friends have coloring markers. They draw wonderful pictures. Mummy, I need some coloring markers." "Oh no," said her mother. "I've heard about those coloring markers. Kids draw on walls, they draw on the floor, they draw on themselves. You can't have any coloring markers." Whew, no markers. I mean, sometimes pencil crayons are safer for children, but... "Well," said Bridget, "there are these new coloring markers. They wash off with just water. I can't get into any trouble with coloring markers that wash off. Get me some of those." "Well," said her mother, "all right." So her mother went out and got Bridget 500 washable coloring markers. Bridget went up to her room and drew wonderful pictures. She drew lemons that were yellower than lemons, and roses that were redder than roses, and oranges that were oranger than oranges. 500 markers. That's a lot of markers. I have 24 markers right here, just to give you an idea. 500 is a lot. Her mother was amazed. She said, "Wow, my kid is an artist." But after a week, Bridget got bored. She went to her mother and said, "Mom, did I draw on the wall?" "No," said her mother. "Did I draw on the floor?" "No," said her mother. "Did I draw on myself?" "No," said her mother. "Well," said Bridget, "I didn't get into any trouble, and I need some new coloring markers. All my friends have them. Mummy, there are these coloring markers that smell. They have ones that smell like roses and lemons and oranges, and even ones that smell like cow plops. Mom, they have coloring markers that smell like anything you want. Mom, I need those coloring markers." Her mother went out and got 500 markers that smelled. Then Bridget went upstairs and she drew pictures. She drew lemons that smelled like lemons, and roses that smelled like roses, and oranges that smelled like oranges, and cow plops that smelled like cow plops. Again, I think 500 is overkill, but generous mom. Her mother said, "Wow, my kid is an artist." But after a week, Bridget got bored. She said, "Mom, did I draw on the floor?" "No," said her mother. "Did I draw on the walls?" "No," said her mother. "Did I draw on myself?" "No," said her mother. "Well," said Bridget, "I need some new coloring markers. These are the best kind. All my friends have them. They are super indelible, never come off until you're dead, and maybe even later coloring markers. Mom, I need them." So her mother went out and got 500 super indelible, never come off till you're dead, and maybe even later coloring markers. Bridget took them and drew pictures for 3 weeks. She drew lemons that looked better than lemons, and roses that looked better than roses, and oranges that looked better than oranges, and sunsets that looked better than sunsets. Wow. Then she got bored. She said, "I'm tired of drawing on paper, but I'm not going to draw on the walls, and I'm not going to draw on the floor, and I'm not going to draw on myself. But everybody knows it's okay to color your fingernails. Even my mother colors her fingernails." So Bridget took a purple, super indelible, never come off until you're dead, and maybe even later coloring marker, and she colored her thumbnail bright purple. And that was so pretty. She colored all her fingernails purple, black, and yellow. And that was so pretty. She colored her hands yellow, green, and red. Uh-oh, you guys, she's using the permanent markers on herself. And that was so pretty. She colored her face purple, green, yellow, and blue. You like this story, Pippin? And that was so pretty. She colored her belly button blue. And that was so pretty. She colored herself all sorts of colors, almost entirely all over. Then Bridget looked in the mirror and said, "What have I done? My mother is going to kill me." She said, so she ran into the bathroom and she washed her hands for half an hour. Nothing came off. Her hands still looked like mixed up rainbows. Oh dear, look at her. She is fully colored, and it's not washing off. Then she had a wonderful idea. She reached way down into the bottom of the coloring markers and got a special colored marker. It was the same color she was. She took that marker and colored herself all over until she was her regular color again. In fact, she looked even better than before, almost too good to be true. She went downstairs and her mother said, "Why, Bridget, you're looking really good today." "Right," said Bridget. Then her mother said, "It's time to wash your hands for dinner." But Bridget was afraid that the special color would not stick to the colors underneath, so she said, "I already washed my hands." She looks pretty normal. She's looking back to normal. But her mother smelled her hands and said, "Ah, no soap." So she took Bridget into the bathroom and washed her hands and face. All the special color came off, and Bridget looked like mixed up rainbows. "Oh no," said her mother. "Bridget, did you color your hands with the coloring markers that wash off?" "No." "Bridget, did you color your hands with the coloring markers that smell?" "No." "Did you use the super and double never come off till you're dead and maybe even later coloring markers?" "Yes." "Yikes," yelled her mother. Oh dear. She called the doctor and said, "Help, help, help. My daughter has colored herself with super indelible never come off until you're dead and maybe even later coloring markers." "Oh dear," said the doctor. "Sometimes they never come off." The doctor came over and gave Bridget a large orange pill. She said, "Take this pill, wait 5 minutes, then take a bath." So Bridget took the pill, waited 5 minutes, and jumped into the bathtub. Her mother stood outside the door and yelled, "Is it working? Is it working?" Oh boy, that's one large orange pill that doctor gave her. "Yes," said Bridget, "everything is coming off." And Bridget was right. Everything had come off. When Bridget walked out of the bathroom, she was invisible. "Oh no," yelled her mother. "You can't go to school if you're invisible. You can't go to university if you're invisible. You'll never get a job if you're invisible. Bridget, you've wrecked your life." Oh no, she's just a cloud of bubbles after that bath. "Don't worry," said Bridget. She ran into her room, got the special colored marker, and colored herself entirely all over until you couldn't tell the difference. In fact, she looked even better than before. Almost too good to be true. But her mother said, "Bridget, you can't go through life like that. You're just a picture. Everyone will know there is something wrong." "No, they won't," said Bridget. "Yes, they will," said her mother. "No, they won't," said Bridget. "I colored Daddy while he was taking a nap, and you haven't noticed anything yet." "Good heavens!" yelled her mother, and she ran into the living room and looked at Daddy. He looked even better than before. Almost too good to be true. "Doesn't he look great?" asked Bridget. "I couldn't even tell the difference," said her mother. "Right," said Bridget, "and neither will he. As long as he doesn't get wet." Oh dear. Her dad's color is washing off in the rain now. He looks like a rainbow. The end. So don't draw on yourself with markers. That's the moral of this story. But be very creative and use your imagination. Okay. We are going to do our craft next. And so, like I was saying, you'll need a large sheet of white paper. If you have one that's as big as you are, that is awesome. If you don't, that's okay. You can draw a miniature version of yourself, or I'm going to just trace part of my hand and redraw it and pretend that I have colored myself in like Bridget did. You'll need some markers, but not super indelible, never come off until you're dead, and maybe even later coloring markers. You need just normal, plain, washable markers, a pencil, and some scissors if you want to cut out your picture. So, I'm going to put you up here. And sorry for the shadow. I know it's not the best, but I'm going to trace out my hand here. Pippin, do you want to be part of the craft? Come lay down. Come here, lay down. Good girl. Can I drag you over to the paper? Put your paw on the paper. It's okay. Pippin squeals for anything she doesn't like. So we'll see if she'll, I don't know if she's gonna let us trace her paw. It's okay. Lay down. That's it. Lay down. Good girl. Lay down. Good girl. Shall we trace your paw? Oh, you don't like it? Okay, we'll just draw a paw. I mean, her paw is pretty hairy and we wouldn't have been able to trace it very well anyways. So this is Pippin's paw. And we'll give her some toes. And we'll give her some claws. And then we'll color in the rest. She'll have a very hairy paw. And then I'm going to trace my hand and my arm right here. So we'll trace our hand, and you can get someone to help you with this. I'm using my dominant hand to trace my non-dominant hand. So I'm right-handed, so I'm tracing my left hand. So that's what the shape of my sleeve looks like. So we'll draw my sleeve, and it kind of has this cuff on it, so we'll draw the cuff. There is my hand, and we'll draw some fingernails. I'll try to put this in the light area here. I know there's a shadow right here, so sorry about that. We'll draw some fingernails. That pinky nail is much bigger than my real life pinky nail, but that's okay. And thumbnail. That thumbnail is kind of long. And we'll draw in my rings. So here is my wedding ring and wedding band. And then I have another ring with blue stones on this finger. So we got both of those drawn in. There we go. Now we're going to color ourselves with our washable markers, because that is what we like. We don't want to ruin our lives like poor Bridget. So let's see. I'm going to use this. Is this brown? It's hard to tell in this light. I'm going to use red to color in my plaid sleeve here. This isn't quite the right color for my shirt, as you can see, but if I had 500 markers like Bridget, then I would probably have the right color. But since I only have 24 markers, I don't have quite the right color for my clothing here, but we will make do with what we have, because 500 markers is a little excessive. We're going to use this lighter red to add a kind of plaid design. We'll color these wide stripes in. So, in the inspiration pictures I saw, some kids had drawn themselves and replicated their exact outfits really nicely. So you can try to do that, or you can design a dream outfit that you would like to have, or you can color yourself totally rainbow like Bridget did. Whatever you feel like doing, that's what you should do. So I'm going to color in more of the plaid here. And maybe I will draw my skin totally rainbow. Make some cool designs like Bridget did. Use creativity, because she was very creative. My shirt also has some navy blue, so I will do some thinner stripes of navy. Actually, this is purple, I think. It's hard to tell in this light, but purple will work. There we go. Maybe we'll color in a couple spots. Yeah, this is definitely purple. Okay, let's see. Do I have that? This is the navy marker. This is the one I wanted. Let's use it. Much more accurate. Yeah, we'll just finish these 2 squares off. There we go. That's my kind of plaid looking shirt. It's not super similar to the shirt I have on, but it's inspired by it. So next, my ring is this kind of turquoise color, so I'm going to color that ring in. And my other rings are silver, so I'll just use the gray marker for those. And what color should I paint my nails? Bridget started painting her nails purple, so I think I'll do that. We'll do some purple nails. Maybe should we paint Pippin's nails the same color? Let's make Pippin's nails purple too. There. Pippin's got matching nails. Okay, now let's look at this book here and see what sort of design she did on herself. She's got stripes across her face, some stars, her hands look like this. Each finger's a different color. So let's try some of that. Let's see, she did some fingers in red, so we'll do that. This is going to be quite the colorful drawing. Now you can color this in realistic, like you are coloring yourself to look actually like yourself, so you could use your skin color, because Bridget does that in the book too. She colors herself in to look normal again. Or you can use all the fun colors and make yourself into a rainbow like she did in this part. So that is what I'm doing. And could definitely take my time with this, but we are going to just do it kind of quickly. We'll do our other 2 fingers in yellow, because that's what she has done in this picture. She has green, red, and yellow fingers, and then she's got some yellow circles with red in the middle, so we'll do some of those. She's got a stripe of red going across her hand, so we'll do a stripe of red. Put some red in those circles. There we go, and in this picture she hasn't finished coloring her hands yet, so we might just make up some colors. Let's put some purple in here, because the book is called Purple, Green, and Yellow, so we should at least use those colors. Color in the background here of these polka dots. And if you're doing this along with me, I would love to hear what colors and what designs you are using on your hand. Tell me all about it in the comments if you want. And I would love to hear how yours are going. So we'll color this part pink. Let's do bright green here. Just using all the fun colors, because why not? So there is my crazy hand. Imagine if that was my real hand colors. Now we're going to just color in Pippin's hand, or Pippin's paw. I think we'll use some teal. She's very furry, as I said, so I'll color a fur kind of texture. We'll do some green on her. Now, wouldn't it be cool if you could color your dog like this too? That'd be super cool. We'll do some yellow on her. And maybe some pink. That's a very light pink, but there we go. That's my colored hand and my furry rainbow dog. So let's flip you around here. That is everything for Nighttime Tales tonight. I hope you all enjoyed this Robert Munch theme, and if you didn't know, the Strathmore Library has a bunch of new Robert Munch books in, which is cool because I didn't know that when I was planning this theme. So they are all brand new books. A bunch of them are out right now, but you can order them on the Track Pack website that's on your library card, or you can give the library a phone call and we'll tell you which ones we have here. So, thank you for watching. Pippin, do you want to come here? Come say goodbye? Thanks for being so good during story time. You almost let me trace your paw, but I didn't get away with it. I thought it was worth a try, but... Oh, she's checking out my painting. My drawing, I mean. What do you think, Pippin? Do you like it? That's your paw, if you were a rainbow. So thanks everyone for being here. I hope you had fun, and I hope you have a great night. That's right, Pippin, it's bedtime, isn't it? We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.